Greetings, everyone. This is Kamishita from Kamishita's Corner and Sensational Touch, and welcome to another edition of Soap and Spirituality. Sensational Touch Bath and Body Products. You can also have a sensational bath experience. We have all sorts of skin friendly, eco friendly products from skin and scalp moisture milks, all natural soap bars of all different types of scents. Fragrance and essential oils are used here at Sensational Touch. You can have shampoo bars with organic ingredients, aloe, cucumber, all of those ingredients that your hair and skin will love, including neem oil. We also offer a whole line of skin products to help moisturize your skin and keep it nice and supple. This is our blackberry sage soap, by the way. Here is our healing oils, again made with plush, luscious fat, including neem infused with herbs. We also have all types of other skin loving products. We have your scrubs made with walnut shells and sugar. Mm, that will be a lovely, lovely addition. We also offer classes. So if you want to learn to make your own soap, you can here. How to create your own sensational bath experience and talk about all things traditional African spirituality. So today we're going to be talking about the holy day of the 19th of Tahuti while I'm making my oatmeal milk and honey soap. Now before I get started, just to let you know, we already have our titanium dioxide in here. Also, oatmeal milk and honey has a high vanilla content in the fragrance. This one is going to be fragranced. It's not going to be unfragranced. So we put titanium dioxide just to help it to not get too dark when it goes through the cure process. Okay? So let's get started. If it's your first time, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. Please click the like button, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would like to know about next. Okay, so as I make this, I'm going to be adding the ingredients. The honey, I use a dry milk, not a wet milk. Titanium dioxide, you'll see me add, and you'll also see me add the fragrance and the lye. And then I will mix it all together and put it in our mold. Okay, so we're going to get started. With the last soap making, I was talking a little bit about the calendar. I'm adding my lye water. And now that we're entering the end of our first month, the end of the month of Tehuti, I figured I would talk about the last and our most important holiday in the Kemetic calendar, and that is the 19th of Tahuti. What is the 19th of Tahuti? Well, it's a really, really important holiday for all Kam across the globe because it is the day that we got on code. Okay, what does that mean? You'll see across the internet people talking all kinds of you gotta be on code talk, but the only code that I get on is the code that I'm going to talk about. All right, so we're not B1, we're not whatever else that's out there. We have one code as Kim that is the most important code for us, and I'm going to talk about that. It all started long time ago when humanity, all of humanity, was living in a very, very uncivilized and barbaric state. this story is a part of our holy drama story, part of our origin story that's called the holy drama. So there was a time where we were, as humanity, were living in a very barbaric state. And in that barbaric state, our most ancient ancestor, our godfather, Wusser, he decided to help out humanity. So he went around and he taught us how to be civil, how to bathe, how to clean ourselves. I'm going to blend, so I'm going to pause just to give this a little bit of a stir. Okay, so Wusser taught us how to be civilized. He taught us how to bathe, how to domesticate animals, how to farm, how to live a life that was unlike all of the other animals that exist on the planet, because that's what we were living like. Just as barbaric as all of the other life forms that existed on the planet. Because that's what we saw as far as survival, and that's what we mimicked in nature, the animal kingdom. So Wusser came down and he decided he was going to teach us how to live as humans. He taught us how to be civilized. Taught us how to pray, all that good stuff. I'm adding my honey now. So this is the honey that I'm going to add. You know what? I don't want to put my finger in there. So I'm going to use this just to get all the honey out. Because this is oatmeal, milk, and honey. So it's not only oatmeal, milk, and honey scented. It's also going to have oatmeal, milk, and honey in it. Very, very moisturizing and excellent ingredients for the skin. Honey acts as an additional humectant. Oatmeal, very good for the skin. I'm adding that now. It's the last of my oatmeal, so I'm just going to put all of it in there. And this is the titanium dioxide. This will help it to not get so dark. And this is our dried milk. Okay, so that's what Wusser did for society. He came down, he taught us how to be civil. He taught us how to live as humans, domestication of animals, farming, taught us how to pray, taught us how to bathe. He taught humanity how to be human. So when we were able to get up to a certain level of civility, the world of the gods came down and exposed themselves to us. So we were able to experience at that time, in the history of humanity, the world of the gods. We were able to see them. So they asked us, what is your goal? What is your agenda? Now, human beings do not have the ability, we do not possess the ability to create. I know people, talk about being creative. Well, when we talk about being creative, it's really more like being maybe innovative, but not really knowing how to create. In other words, we cannot just come up with something without first having some level of exposure to a thing. So we can't just think of something in our own minds that has nothing to do with anything that we have been exposed to before. So our what we call creativity is really just us copying. We copy, we may make mistakes in our copying and come up with something that we haven't, seen before or experienced before. Or we just may have things that we have experienced and we added with other things that we have experienced and come up with something that may be new for us, but not new to the existence. So we copy. We're really, really good at copying. So when the world of the gods exposed themselves to us and asked us, what is your agenda? What do you think we said? Because we're good copiers and we had just been exposed to the world of the gods, this perfect world, we said, we want to be like you. We said we wanted to be like them. We wanted to create the world of the gods on earth. We wanted to be like them because we saw all that perfection. We saw all of that beauty. We saw all of that order. And we wanted that too. So of course they responded, wait. Hold up now. You're human. You're human. We are gods. We are perfect beings. We don't lie. You as humans lie. We are perfect. You're not perfect. You're imperfect. You have all sorts of corruptions. You defecate. You urinate. You sweat. We don't do that. We are pure, perfect beings. I'm going to blend again. Give me a minute. How can you create the world of the gods with all of your corruptions and imperfections? He said, we want to be like you. Worcester advocated on our behalf. He said, listen, you asked, what did they want? What was their agenda? They said they want to be like you. So guys asked that question one more time. They asked us again. He said, are you sure that's what you want? With all of your corruptions and imperfections. You can't, you're not us. You sure that's what you want? We said, yes. So they, told us more about the differences between humanity and the gods. He says, all of the things that you do, sweating, defecating, urinating, we don't do that. Lying, we don't do that. All of your corruptions, we don't have that. They asked us the third time, are you sure? What do you want? What is your agenda? We said, yes, we are sure. We want to be like you. We want to create the world, the divine world, here, where we are. So they said, okay. So they called Tehuti. Tehuti is another Neterra. He's a scribe. And all Tehuti went around to the Neteru, to the pantheon of Neteru, and he collected 77 commandments, 77 laws, 77 forbidden territories. And when he collected that, 35 of those laws came from the Neter Nut, and the pantheon of gods supplied the rest of those codes, of those laws, of those commandments, known today as the Code of Human Behavior. So remember when I talked about all these different codes that you hear about online now? B1, this first, that first. The only code that is most important to a chem is the code of human behavior. That is the code that was given to humanity by the divine world because we said we wanted to be like them. So gods gave us a way to do exactly that, because the gods don't lie. And if they said they was going to help us to achieve our agenda, then they gave us these codes to help us to achieve our agenda. Now, these codes, this divine code of human behavior. Now, think about that. Divine code of human behavior. So, if they're giving us a code that we must follow in order to be human, then what are we? Not human. But if we follow these codes, then we can hold on to our humanity, hold on to our civility, and we could have the opportunity to create that world of gods, to be divine. So the code that we as Chem people think is important, know as important, and strive every day, all of our lives to follow, is that code. That's the only code, the code of human behavior. And anybody can be a Chem. Doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, doesn't matter what country you come from, doesn't matter the hue of your skin, doesn't matter. What matters is that you make that decision to be a Chem. You make the decision to follow the rules of being a Chem. You make the decision to follow the only code that Chem people think is important, and that's the divine code of human behavior, the code that was given to us by the divine world so that we could be what we said we wanted to be. And that was like them, like the divine world. So, all of this happened on a very special day. It happened in this month, on the 19th, which is the second divine holy day of the month. And on that day, on the 19th of Tahuti, every year, Chem people across the globe take the time to come together with their Chem community if they can, but they recommit themselves to that code, to following that code, and living a life, a human life of civility, following that code, that divine code. Give me 1 second. I'm going to burst this again. Okay, now because I add milk in here, sometimes milk will separate the soap again, so you kind of got to be mindful of that and make sure that it is staying together, that the soap batter is staying together. So I may blend this a couple more times before I put it into mold, just to make sure that it's staying together. It's not going to re-separate because of the milk that's in it. And the honey can do that too. Okay? So yes, we rededicate ourselves on that day, the 19th of Tahuti, which is the second divine holy day in the month of Tehuti, which is the first month of the year. And we rededicate ourselves to being good. And we say prayers of goodness. We eat fruit with honey as we're saying those prayers of goodness and sweetness. And that ceremony usually happens after we've had our prayer service. So after we've done our purifications and done our daily spiritual obligations, which is called a zemzem. It's just a prayer, but it's done in a specific kind of way. And then we have our fruit and honey, and we say our chants, our prayers of sweetness, goodness, sweetness and goodness. And we rededicate our lives to the goal of being good. Because being good is really relative when you think about it in terms of Western society. It's relative to what you want. But as a Chem, being good means following that code, the divine code of human behavior. The closer we are to following that, the closer we are to being good. The further away we are from following that, the further away we are from being good. So that is the code that dictates our lives, our actions, our thinkings, and it's not easy. There's 77 of them. There's 77 codes, forbidden territories, because a human being can do anything, but it's the thing that you won't do, regardless, that defines who you are. Regardless what situation you're being faced with, the thing that you don't do is the thing that will define who you are. So, if you're interested in knowing what those commandments are, you could, I think I'm going to blend this some more. I want it to be a little thicker. I'm hoping it doesn't separate as I continue to blend some more. If you're interested in finding out where you can get a copy of those 77 commandments, you can locate your local Earth Center. And you can find your local Earth Center, the one that's closest to you, by going to their website at www.theearthcenter.org, org spelled out. And you can find the nearest Earth Center to you. And you can call them up. And you can say, how do I get a copy of the 77 Commandments? The Divine Code of Human Behavior. I would like a copy. And go from there. Okay, so I paused you and blended it some more just to get it as thick as this now. And still not that thick, but I'm going to put it in a mold. And then I'm going to texture the top just to give it some personality. Yes, yes, yes. So this I'm making because someone asked for oatmeal milk and honey. They wanted scented oatmeal milk and honey. And I offer this in scented and unscented. I have only one more bar of the unscented, so I have to make some more. But before I do that, I'm going to be making a series of fall scents. So we're going to have aniseed and cinnamon. We're going to have clove. We're going to be making hemp scented soap. And I'm going to be making some spearmint and cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon. Kind of like Big Red, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to pour this in here. It's still a little, it looks like it might be separating again. We're going to see. If it does, yeah, it looks like it's getting, it's tricky when you're making soap with milk. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. I'll texture the top and I'll just show you some pictures because it's going to take some time. So you're not going to want to sit here and watch it get thick. That would be boring. And if you're interested in getting any of this soap, you can go to my website at www.sationaltouch.com. Scent with a C, scent like as in the smell. Scent, Sational Touch. And you can order some oatmeal, milk, and sun honey soap. That's my Etsy shop that I gave you. And all of those websites and links will be below in the description box. And you've probably seen it pop up on the screen as well as I was mentioning it. Okay, guys, this is it. And join me for another episode of Soap and Spirituality. I'm going to try to upload one of those every week. That is my goal. To upload one every week. And I'll give you a little bit more information about different aspects of traditional spirituality. Alrighty, guys, this is it. I'm going to bang this down and then I will texture the top off screen. Thank you for watching and I will see you on the very next video. I will take pictures after I texture the top, and I'll put it at the end of the video. Alrighty, bye-bye.